This is my intro music. Welcome to the video. I hope you like it lots, so don't forget to subscribe and click the thumbs up button. Now let's react.
Hey, hi, hello there, and welcome to another episode of an anthropologist watches a fucking train wreck. I watched this live with y'all, so if you're interested in watching that, we watched the first episode of LoLCow Bus live. It was something. We watched it. It happened. I'll have it linked down below if you're interested in the description. So, but I thought I wanted to do a reaction to it, or at least discuss it as a reaction, before I really try to deep dive into it as dark anthropology, because I really just don't know how to like address it. To be perfectly honest with you guys, it's a lot. It really is just a lot, because there's just a lot happening all at once. It's very Jerry Springer meets WWE, in my opinion. There's a lot of scripted storyline going on here, with a lot of like hero heel shit happening. Plus, just in general, the whole very Jerry Springer-esque, what's the word I'm looking for? Jerry Springer-esque spectacle going on with the LoLCow universe, playing off of the MCU universe. What does MCU stand for? MC Cinematic Universe. The concept being that, all of the Marvel comic book character universe all coming together for, the movie universe. It all comes together, but there are separate movies leading off of one common universe, right? And that's what Keemstar is trying to do here with the LoLCow thing. He's trying to bring all of the major LoLCows together in this one LoLCow universe, where he's got multiple shows in a network, effectively, with all of these various LoLCow shows that all start with LoLCow something. And Amber is on an older show that seems to have been revived, called LoLCow Bus. Bus is short. Well, okay. Bus is short for Short Bus, which is what it used to be called, LoLCow Short Bus, which some of you will get the reference, some of you won't. I'm not going to sit here and explain it to you because it's an insult, and that's just how it is. That being said, LoLCow Bus is Amber's new show. It's not Amber's show. I'm not fully up on the lore behind the show LoLCow Bus, but it seems that the show used to belong to the two main hosts, which would be Sweet Tea and Scooter. There's a lot of, and that's another reason why this is very WWE-esque, in that all of the hosts within LoLCow, the LoLCow U, or LCU, there we go, seem to have backstories and relationship connections and like relationship webs that interconnect, and sometimes they're friends and sometimes they're enemies, and in alternate realities they're this and that and something else. So it's all very interconnected, and that's where the WWE aspect comes in, because if you've ever watched wrestling, or if you've watched wrestling for a long time, especially WWE or back in the day WWF, you're very familiar with the long running storylines between the wrestlers and their arch nemesis and their friendships, and then they started introducing the female wrestlers, and suddenly there were dating storylines that you had to follow. And I mean, it's all very interesting, but it's a fucking soap opera is what it is. And the LCU seems to be very similar in that aspect. But going back to LoLCow Bus, it seems that the original two hosts of LoLCow Bus, before Amber joined, were Sweet Tea and Scooter. Scooter being the male host, Sweet Tea being the female host. And like I said, I'm not fully on the up and up on this, so some of you may know more lore than I do. Some of you are just probably hearing this for the first time. So there's going to be knowledge gaps here, is what I'm trying to tell you. Anyway, before Amber joined the LCU, Scooter and Sweet Tea seem to have been the hosts of LoLCow Bus. There appears to have been some kind of falling out with Scooter and Keemstar, and again, how authentic any of this is a giant red question mark. I have no idea. There's no way to know how authentic any of this is, which is another reason why I am not entirely sure how to approach this anthropologically yet. Right? There are other people's studies that I'm going to have to go over, specifically other people's studies about things like Jerry Springer and the WWE that I need to look at in order to come up with a way to analyze this, because I don't even know where to start. So I know I want to do this, I just am not entirely sure how to begin. But there are people who have looked at things like Jerry Springer and the World Wrestling Federation and have looked at that kind of thing anthropologically, and I'm going to use that as a starting point. This is my plan going forward. Anyway, I keep getting distracted. Coming back to LoLCow Bus, Sweet Tea, Scooter. There seems to have been some kind of falling out between Keemstar and Scooter that got Scooter booted from LoLCow Bus, which apparently ended LoLCow Bus, or put LoLCow Bus on hiatus. Fast forward to 2026, and Keemstar, fast forward to 2025, end of 2025, Amber gets demonetized on YouTube, which is the push she needed to finally accept Keemstar's offer to be on LoLCow, the LoLCow universe. Sorry, my apartment has been torn up recently because I had a leak in the heating system, and they had to literally dig up my floor, and so my entire recording studio is covered in cement dust and God only knows what else, and so everything is full of dust and cat hair, and I'm still trying to put everything back together. So mazel tov. That's been fun. That's been the beginning of my 2026. Amber finally accepts Keemstar's offer to be on LoLCow. She is put on the show LoLCow Bus. If you hear Amber's version of this story, she asked to be put on LoLCow Bus because she wanted to work with Scooter and Sweet Tea. Now, there is history with Amber and another couple few, but one specific host who is on his own show. I think LoLCow Rebels. There's like 8 different LoLCow shows. Hence why I was saying it's like a network. But you all will know the name Yo Mama. He is a long-term LoLCow supporter. He's often seen supporting Amber and Chantel, and being anti-reactor channel. Whatever, somebody has to. Keep in mind that Yo Mama started off himself as a reactor. He just didn't take off as a reactor, and so he decided to be an anti-reactor, and that took off, and that did well for him. So Yo Mama himself is an opportunist, and he found his niche. So that's where Yo Mama is now. Yo Mama isn't actually... Yo Mama's character as being an anti-reactor is not an authentic character in its own right. None of these characters on LoLCow universe are authentic people. They're all playing characters of some variety, including Yo Mama, who Amber is just enamored with because Yo Mama takes Amber's side in any kind of confrontation between Amber and the reaction community. So Amber just loves Yo Mama, right? And has some very creepy things to say about how much she loves Yo Mama. Things I don't ever need to know. But I know now because Amber opened her mouth and shared them with us. Anyway, so Amber is now on the LoLCow Bus show, but not on LoLCow Rebels, which is, I believe, Yo Mama's show. I can be corrected. It's fine. I may be getting my shows mixed up. I think I have us up to date, or at least as up to date as we can be. Today is January the 8th. Her first episode was January 1st. Yes? Yes, I had to go back and check. Yes, it streamed 6 days ago. That doesn't make any sense. What is today? The 8th. That doesn't make any sense. I can't do math. I don't care. It streamed 6 days ago on January 1st. Amberlynn Reid joins Bus with the return of Bus. There you go. We watched that. It was a thing. It streamed at 8 p.m. my time, EST. It was a 2-hour stream. I reacted to it live, live-ish. It took me from 8 p.m. until 10:30 my time to get through the whole damn thing. And a lot of that reaction was just me going, what the fuck is happening? Okay, because that was what was happening. But we're gonna react to Apathetic Faxx's cut down version of it. Apathetic Facts managed to take it and cut it down to 45 minutes. We're gonna watch it sped up, and we may even end up cutting down Apathetic Faxx's cut down version of it some for this reaction. Just because there's a lot of redundancy happening throughout this reaction. I remember the fever dream that was this this live stream. I remember there was a lot of Amber just asking for people to be blocked right off the bat. I remember a lot of super chats that came through. Apparently, the Bus uses a text to speech option. I think they use Streamlabs, and it has an option that you can have the super chats read out loud if they're over a certain amount, and they had it set at $20, and they upped it to $50 there for a while, which was very nice because it wasn't being read out constantly. And people were sending super chats pretty much constantly. They made a lot of money on this live, let me put it that way. And there were people who were sending super chats that were like 20 plus emojis. And when you do that, the text to speech option, reads the name of the emoji. And that was really fucking annoying. And it took a long time for some of those to get read out. So, I mean, I guess for the people who were doing that, I guess that was worth $20, but for the rest of us, that was like a small slice of hell that we all had to sit through because Keem wouldn't stop it. And then Keem, the ultimate troll, was doing shit like adding a cat meow sound to the soundboard. I don't know how it was being triggered, but it was part of the soundboard. And anytime Amber was talking about rarity, this meowing sound would play. Keem was the one who was doing it. There were things. Scooter was apparently recording at the house of two other hosts of a different show. And those two hosts were interrupting Scooter to do things like throw wash rags at Scooter's head. I forget the name of the female host of the other show, but she came in twice, to basically pick fights, to talk trash. That's the word I'm looking for, to talk trash with Amberlynn, because apparently her and Amberlynn have beef. Very WWE-esque, whoa, what you gonna do, brother, kind of a thing. It was very staged, very fake, in my opinion. Very definitely staged. Scooter was kind of stuck in the middle of it all. I did feel sorry for Scooter. I don't know how much of this really was staged, how much of this really was off the cuff, how much of this really was real. It just, all of it just kind of felt very fake, very scripted, at least the parts where the hosts were interacting with each other. The parts where the hosts had to interact with the audience, obviously, I don't think that is as staged as it can't be that staged. I do believe that Keem had sock accounts in the chat. And I do think that there were people in the chat who were probably staged, very much like Jerry Springer, in order to keep the shit rolling, if one will. So, I mean, I think Keem knows what he's doing here as far as manufacturing a certain level of drama in order to keep interest in the show. So there's that. And then at the very end of the show, the two people whose house that Scooter was at, you can do a thing during your lives or at the end of your lives on YouTube where you can basically pass your audience on to another live. It's something you can also do on Twitch, but it's something that YouTube has had the ability to do, I think, for over a year at this point, where you can end your stream and you can redirect your audience to another stream. And it's a smart move to do, especially if you have something like a network like Keem has here with the LoLCow U. And so what Keem had them do at the end of LoLCow Bus, because the live was only for 2 hours, at the end of LoLCow U, he had them redirect everyone to the LoLCow show that was the show of the two individuals that Scooter was staying at the house of, who had been harassing Scooter and the rest of the hosts through Scooter the whole time. So the two hosts that had been harassing and starting beef with Amber the whole time Scooter had been on his show, LoLCow Bus, LolCow Bus was now going to redirect their audience to that show. And I can't remember the name of that show, to be perfectly honest with you, because I was done at that point. I didn't have any more brain cells to rub together. But that was just a genius move, honestly. I mean, I have to give it to Keem. He's really, I don't like him, but I don't have to like somebody in order to admit that that they're doing well at what they do, right? But that was a pretty genius move to have enough interruptions during the show to not derail the show, but to keep interest in these two hosts. You know, you've got the other female hosts coming in, talking smack with Amber, starting beef with Amber during the show, so that people are like, who are these people? Oh, they're smack talking with Amber. Oh, I wonder what's going on there. I wonder what the beef is there. And then at the end of LoLCow Bus, you know, Keem comes on and says, hey, well, what I need you guys to do now is redirect your stream to that stream. And so now it just kind of automatically just kind of pushes everybody over into that stream. And you don't have to go. It just kind of automatically moves you over, and you can end your stream. You can leave. It's not like you're kept hostage as a watcher. You know, you can leave. I just think it was well done and very well scripted and very performative and very obvious once it starts happening. As someone who has watched a lot of WWE and WWF, because I'm old, I remember the days of the steel chair. I mean, I remember this shit, right? I know how this crap works. Yeah, it was pretty obvious what was happening. But Amber's interaction with the audience in general, that did seem to put her off. We all know Amber's a crier, and I've just now spent 20 minutes giving you my recap of watching that. I would like to go through Apathetic Fax's recap and relive this horrific fever dream that was this live, and just kind of tell you guys, just kind of like react to it. I will have Apathetic Fax's video linked in the description down below. Please go give it a watch. It already has 110k views already, so Apathetic Facts does not need me buffing it, but I do want to like cite my sources and all that good stuff. But I am also going to speed it up, so if you want to watch it at a normal pace, or you can go watch it, you know, at the source if you want. You too can sit there for 2 hours and go, what the fuck is happening? What is going on? What we're going to watch right now is the very beginning. Amber made a little promo video. It comes out very early on that Amber does believe that the whole reason this show even exists is because of her. She has a lot of attitude throughout this entire live. A couple people do call her out about how Amber thinks she's driving the bus. She's not on the bus, she's driving the bus. Amber is very disrespectful to her other hosts, which I should surprise literally no one who knows anything about Amber. You can tell that Sweet Tea is not overly impressed with Amber just from her overall body language and stuff. But Scooter seems to be the one trying to play like mediator. He seems to be the one trying to play like the main host, like the actual host of the show. And he also seems to be the one who's trying to like constantly, everyone's trying to constantly placate Amber, because through the entire first episode, Amber's constantly like, I'm gonna quit, I'm gonna quit, I'm gonna quit. So that's like the constant theme there, is just keeping Amber's ego, constantly stroking Amber's ego, constantly trying to reassure Amber, and constantly trying to keep Amber from leaving the show. And again, it does all feel, I mean, after the first few minutes of it, it all does feel very scripted, very fake, very, you're not going anywhere, Amber. No one believes this threat anymore, kind of a thing. So anyway.
Probably the most hated host. I'm the infamous Amberlynn Reid.
I forgot about the infamous thing. Look, she meant infamous. Can we just let infamous go? What was it she said one other time? It was just like, as soon as she said it, I was just like, you're never living that one down. Anyway.
I am adored by many, but hated by most.
You're hated by most and adored by few.
Genuinely made it to where reaction channels make millions of dollars. They go on
Who are these channels? I would like to know.
vacations, they buy houses, cars.
Who are buying houses and cars based on reacting to you? Asking for a friend.
They have a roof over their head because of me. And it's
Who are these people that who are only reacting to you, making millions, buying homes and cars, and going on vacations? Who are these people? The people that live behind your eyes? The only people making that kind of money on your material is you. And you're not even making that money anymore. Just, putting it out there.
It's all because I'm just existing. I already have hosts in the LCU hating on me. We have
You have Roxy. You have Roxy calling you out on your bullshit because it was deserved. And I don't think Roxy is a host anymore. I believe Roxy used to be a host and is no longer a host.
Booster who quit. Zay is now front row on the hate mob train.
Zay. Okay, Zay is the host I was talking about.
We have Roxy's old ass admitting that she watches every single second of me.
Roxy's 50. You'll be lucky to see that age. I mean, granted, I realize 50 is old to somebody who's 30, but baby doll, as someone who probably won't be seeing 50, don't throw stones.
We also have Denmark obsessed with my size. Hello, Denmark. Listen,
I don't know who these people are, to be honest with you. I don't have anything to say at this point. She lost me now.
you guys think that the LCU had drama before? Just wait.
This is just a picture from her Instagram. It says new show. I'll be live at 7 p.m. Central, which was 8 p.m. Eastern Standard.
I'm excited, dude. We've been talking. We've been planning this. Amber's really ready to give her side of the story. I think it's gonna be fun.
Because Amber has never been able to give her side of the story ever before. This is Scooter.
How are we doing? Amberlynn Reid, welcome to the LoLCow Universe. This is now the fattest podcast on the internet.
Yes, it is.
Amber, for if you can't tell, because she doesn't fit in the screen, Amber has her Queen of Girl World crown on, by the way.
Hello, everyone.
Sorry.
Yes,
I'm so
I
welcome.
will be. Okay, listen, I just have to say, if you become a member, you get to come to the Discord. I will be there. You can talk to me. I might be in the VC, okay? I probably will, actually.
I don't know if you guys can hear in the chat, but we're dancing. We're bussing, dude. Bus is back, baby. Welcome to 2026. The
I don't know why we do this, but apparently we dance.
fattest podcast. Matt, verified cash cow for 5 months. Good to see you, buddy. Holy shit, dude. This is insane. Like, this is actually insane. The chat is literally flying right now.
I don't even know how I got here, to be honest. For those of you who don't know about me,
I don't know who you are.
it was back in like 2013. I'm just sitting there watching all these weight loss YouTubers, and I was like,
Welcome back,
I need that to be me. Wait, can we ban some of these people like before I?
No. We don't do that. We
What'd
don't
they
do that
say?
here. Like there was a whole Glammy incident. No, we can't ban people. There was a whole fiasco about that. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it at all. Oh,
Don't be reading the messages. Just listen to super chats.
yeah.
Well, it just pisses.
What?
But okay. There's animal cat killer.
Scooter,
Like we
you look
need.
like you got hit in the face with a bunch of dikes.
I did. I did.
Bus wouldn't
man.
even be back if it wasn't for me. So let's.
Bus wouldn't even be back if it wasn't for me. And thus it begins. Amber immediately wants to start banning people. As you can see on the free screen here, or maybe you can't. Somebody here named the Poop Guy says animal abuser, animal abuser, animal abuser. Someone says Spider Hoof says rage quit coming. Someone else says the acting is terrible. Someone else says ALR equals the waffle stomper. Someone else says justice for rarity. Another person says cat killer. Another person sent a super chat that says animal ABS user. Yikes. Amber starts off the chat. She does, as you notice, she doesn't even finish her story. She doesn't even begin her story, honestly. And she already wants to start. She already gets distracted by the chat. She immediately wants to start banning people. Scooter instantly is on the defensive, trying to calm everybody down.
Let's start there. Can we please ban the people who say animal killers? That's not.
We're not banned
I
down.
don't see no animal killer yet.
Can we?
Y'all are blind. And here from the beginning, I can tell that Sweet Tea is a buddy troll. Let's put it that way.
They're not.
No.
They're,
Look,
most of the people are being nice, Amber.
yeah.
Are they? Where? I can freeze this chat at any point. At any point. There is not a nice thing being said here.
We're
The cat killer, the abuse, like it's not okay, and I don't want this flooding the fucking chat the whole time.
Oh, I see it
okay.
too.
No, I do, guys. Chill with that shit. Seriously, let's chill with that. Let's
Yeah.
give her a warm welcome. Let's take it a little easy, okay, guys? We don't have to freak out like this. I'm trying to free the Greys because I love the Greys, but you guys are acting up right now. No, don't. You okay? We're all good. We're all good.
Making sure I'm having a heart attack. My heart rate is like over 100 right now. I'm getting fucking pissed off because it's
Okay.
not okay.
Okay.
You're supposed to be my host. You're supposed to be on my side, not theirs.
I am on your side.
Nobody's on their side.
Yeah, no, but I'm also the showrunner. I got to make sure like things are gonna go okay. We got to let people talk.
It's only been 5 minutes, girl. Lock in.
It's a live stream. This is a community.
Okay, you just contradicted yourself. You said I need this to go okay. Then fucking ban those people.
We don't. Okay, we're not banning anybody. We don't do that here. Like we legitimately
Okay.
we can't.
Though, to be fair, they just got like 5 new people as members, so...
Can't do that. That's a whole thing. Like with Glammy, like she literally got kicked out of the
Okay.
universe. and had
Welcome
shave
to
her
the
head.
LCU, Amber.
Keem is gonna get pissed
Welcome to the LCU. Hey.
when I quit day one. I can tell
Okay,
you
no,
that.
okay, all right. Let's take it easy.
Bus already died.
Okay, all right. We'll put it on members only. Is that okay? Can we do members only?
great-
No, we're on members only mode. Look, is that okay? Is that like we can't ban people though? Like we legitimately can't do that.
Okay, whatever.
All right.
The members normally are here because they want to be here. You know, they have to pay to be here, so
Yeah,
they're not
that's
gonna be saying
It's
anything
all here
crazy.
for me. So let's talk about me. Okay, so in 2013, I was like,
Let's talk about me.
let's lose weight. Let's make. Sweet Tea, are you laughing at me?
Yes, Sweet Tea is laughing at you. This is Sweet Tea right off the bat. Sweet Tea thinks this is hilarious because it is actually. Sweet Tea is what we call a buddy troll. Sweet Tea is kind and gentle and friendly to Amber's face and is completely not on Amber's side at any point. Sweet Tea says some of the most backhanded shit almost directly to Amber's face, and Amber just rolls with it. Because what is she going to do?
No.
Okay, Olivia. Okay. So I
Amber,
started doing
we
the
know
whole
what
weight
you
loss.
did to the cat. All for a effort there who wants to end you.
Let's not
Fuck
do
you.
that. Yeah, I know this is upsetting to you, and yes, thank you for coming here. I think it's a little bit crazy to say like, you know, you're the only reason Bus is back. This is one of the most beloved shows, but
I am the bus.
She says, I am the bus. Can I put on the caption? I can put on closed captions now, can't I? So you can see what she's saying.
okay, all right. No, let's not get started like this. We're getting off on the wrong
Listen,
foot
I
right
should
now.
have worn yellow.
What?
Listen, I am the bus.
Agree.
You want to know
I
what I
have
said
to
to me in
agree.
high school one time? Listen, in high school. Okay, so I
Amber says, I am the bus. I should have worn yellow. And to which Sweet Tea says, I agree.
go to this continuation school because I never went to school. Like, so it's like the school for like bad kids, right? So I'm walking with the two popular girls. I'm walking behind them, and next thing I hear is this boy. Why is the school bus following you guys? Oh, look, we made it full circle.
Wow.
So is that why? Okay.
To which Sweet Tea says, wow. Cool story, bro.
So you what? You come to the bus to like take over and take it full circle? Is that what this is about?
Yeah, I am the bus.
Okay.
The queen of the bus.
I know this is day one, but you need a couple mods.
We have a couple mods. Shout out to the mod team. We might add
Probably
a few
just
more.
ban. But banning people would be easier because they
No.
can never come back.
Okay, but
They still come back. They still come back. Trust me.
they do.
Well,
they-
then you ban them again.
okay, but they're gonna
Are
make
you
alt
lazy?
accounts and like no, you don't want. It's not that at
Cool,
all.
I have a lazy host.
It was a long night. It was a long night. It was a long night of this. This was the beginning. I don't even think we were 5 minutes in. I know we weren't more than like 10.
Oh my
You're
god.
lazy.
I am saying we can't ban people.
I'm here for Scooter and Sweet Tea.
Okay, then.
Thank you.
We can't just ban. No, there's a lot of people here for you. Okay, Amberlynn. There's.
Really? Where? I'm not seeing any of it. There's a lot of people here for you. Where?
A lot of people. Calm down. Just breathe. Relax. Okay. It's
This is the
fine.
higher.
We
This is the
just-
highest viewership we've ever had.
Yeah.
They crested somewhere around 6,000 viewers, a little over 6.5 thousand viewers. Yeah, I think I did the math. I think I said that number right. We were watching the numbers all night. They didn't get any higher than that. They didn't get over, they didn't get over 6.6 thousand viewers, but that was pretty good. That was a pretty good number for the bus. For any of the shows, apparently. So in their defense, Amber did bring in, I think, some of the highest numbers the LoLCow universe has ever seen. Which good for them. Keem really does have his cash cow for the time being. But the problem is eventually people are going to get tired of harassing Amber because, I mean, this is fun for the first couple times. People get to get their anger out, their rage out. Amber doesn't have control over the story. She can't ban people. The best she can do is eliminate the grays, people who aren't members, which really all that does is encourage people to become members. So Keem's just making more money. I don't know how the money breakdown is going to work for them in the long run, but I mean, they made a lot of money on this show alone, just from the new members and all of the super chats. Like, there's super chats that aren't getting read out because they're under $20. And at one point, Keem raises the number to $50 for a little while, and they were still getting plenty of chats. And then Amber opens her damn mouth and is like, "Oh, bring it!" And so Keem lowers it back down to 20 again. The point is they made quite a bit of money off of this. This can't hold, though. Amber can't hold a conversation. She's not interesting enough to be able to have a topic every episode. These two don't seem to do topics. It's not a topical show. It's not like they're like, this week we're going to be talking about the color red and how it compares to, I don't know, the vagus nerve. They don't do that kind of stuff. Amber doesn't know what either of those words mean, so she's not going to do that thing. They don't do things like book clubs or movie club or anything like that. They're very reliant on, Amber's very reliant on what the chat is talking about or people asking her questions. Like, she literally can only talk about herself. That's all there is for her to talk about. And the only thing she has to talk about is her past or whatever story she's making up at the time, because she doesn't have any current experiences that are worth talking about. What is she going to talk about? Bingo? Ooh.
I'm all here to watch you, honey.
Let's get back to my story. Okay, weight
Oh,
loss
this
is fun,
is
cool.
nice.
But then I was like, I really like to vlog. I was like, I'm gonna start vlogging. Okay, so then I
Amber,
started
please
vlogging.
explain all 3 stories you told about Rarity going missing.
Okay.
And yes, you will notice that there's a massive lag between the chat and when the text-to-speech reads out the super texts. Yep, nope, super chats.
Ban.
No, we're not
Ban.
banned. Just tell it. Don't worry about it. Just tell your story. Ignore it. Just ignore it. It's okay. Just ignore it.
Why does Sweet Tea keep
How about
laughing
the
at me?
first stream you mute?
We
Because you're being absolutely ridiculous.
will never mute TTS because I'm only here for the money. I don't need the LCU. The LCU needs me.
She's so arrogant. Like, I know I said that a lot of this is scripted, but I do believe that a lot of Amber's shit isn't. And I think a lot of Scooter and Sweet Tea stuff isn't.
ALR isn't the
No.
bus, she only makes it lopsided. Smiley face emoji, but TSSS.
Okay. Well, let's just let her talk, guys. Just let her talk.
I swear to God, if there's any fat jokes from, I'm the only person allowed to make fat jokes to
That one I'm kind of like, there's no way she thinks that's gonna fly.
myself. So I started vlogging, And
You're not the boss.
then I don't know what happened. I made a mukbang. I was eating like hot Cheetos. I think I had like a frozen burrito. It was so boring, right? But then I was like, wow, I'm getting so many views on like mukbangs. All at the same time, I was like, let me share stories that are super drastic, that'll appeal to the eye, right?
I have no idea what she's talking about, to be perfectly honest with you. I think she's trying to explain the origin of her channel. And I don't know what she's talking about, because this is nothing like how the actual origin of her channel went. The problem here is she's either removed or privated everything on her channel. Like, I don't think there's any videos on her channel right now. So she can say anything she wants, because there's no evidence on her channel about the flow of her channel. There's plenty of documentaries and things out there that show the history of her channel that are fairly reliable. So, like, and then there's people who have, lived through it. So we know the truth of it, but a lot of these people don't. Or much like the LCU, these other hosts, they don't care. I don't remember who I was watching. I don't know if it was Kicking Geese, or if it was Scar, or if it was Aren't You Exhausted? But one of them was pointing out that, everybody keeps trying to explain to Sweet Tea and Scooter here how awful Amber is. And it's like, they don't care, because apparently they are all awful people, and so they don't care if Amber is horrible, right? They don't give a shit, because they're all terrible people. Like, at some point they all start apologizing for Amber's physical ABSU against her partners, and her mental and her emotional ABSU against her partners, but yet you're not allowed to do any of that to Amber, right? And they'll say things like her past doesn't matter because it all happened before she joined the show. Really? That's the stance you want to take? All right. They'll say things like, Amber was a victim, so you need to believe what Amber has to say, but yet her past partners, you don't believe them, even though they were victims, don't believe them. It's because everybody on the LCU are terrible people. And they don't care that Amber is a terrible person, because she is with her people. She is with her own kind. And they don't care. she could be the worst of the worst, and they're going to defend her because that's the kind of people she's in with now. Right? I mean, fucking Yo Mama's over there. I'm surprised Keemstar hasn't tried to recruit Shani. Maybe he has. I don't know. But that's kind of the type of people she's hanging with. I mean, I'm not entirely sure exactly why Chantel has been like, nah, I'm not here for it. But like, Keem has tried to recruit Chantel. Chantel, to me, is a straight up horror cow. Those are the kind of people Keem is trying to recruit to his LCU. I don't know about Shani. I'm just speculating about that one. But if it came out that he was trying to recruit her, I would not be surprised. All right? He's got Boogie over there, for Christ's sakes.
I decided to share a story about a past relationship I was in where I was abused. Okay, sorry, trigger warning. Long story short, that got a lot of attention. And then my decided to make a video saying it wasn't true. And automatically everyone believed them. So I don't really want to talk about that, obviously. But
and yet you go into it. She brings up the whole thing with Casey again. She tries to re-victimize Casey. She tries to blame Casey again. She tries to paint Casey as the aggressor again. The chat won't have it. The chat comes after her for it. It doesn't go the way Amber wants it to go. Amber gets her feelings upset. Her hosts do what they do. Her hosts are not supportive. They're buddy trolls. They're going to say things to her face to keep her calm and to keep her where they want her, but at the same time, they're totally making fun of her and they're totally mocking her to her face.
But all of a sudden I became a liar, a this and a that. And I kind of like, I don't know, I kind of just like became a troll after that. I was like, fuck it. If they think these things about me, I'm just going to become that. I just love to talk about myself, so I can't help it.
Amber, can you please
I just love to talk about myself and I can't help it. Yep.
explain why you have Trump hair again?
Trump hair? What does that mean?
Yeah, I guess this? I don't fucking know.
I don't know what
You
that
got
is.
thick hair.
They're hating because they probably got ugly hair or no hair like Keem. So
I think you have nice hair.
anyways, so I became like a mukbanging troll weight loss channel that was just like gaining weight. And then all of a sudden, like the reaction channel started. I became super popular because
I feel like the reaction channels were reacting to her long before any of that happened, but I could be wrong. I wasn't watching or reacting to her until the Becky era. So, sorry. I wasn't reacting to her or watching her until... I wasn't watching her until the Beck era. And I didn't start reacting to her until Wifey era.
because these people were turning me into a villain. So I was trying to be a villain, but also trying to be true to myself. And it was just like,
We don't ban people here for chat engagement. If they break toes, then sure. Sweet Tea and Scooter will take your forklift to help you into the bus. She ain't gonna make it. Too sensitive. Tune into Sweet Tea and Scooter tomorrow.
No, okay, here's one thing I don't like, and I don't want to derail your story too much, but there's a reason she's here, right? Every step of the way, people are like, oh, she's not gonna show up to Bus, she won't make the debut to Bus. Billy said something like that, Zay said something like, all these people said that, and look who's here right now. Look who's right here. And look, that is the way we do things here. We can't, it's a community. We have an amazing community, and look, they love to troll just like you do. You're in the right place.
okay, any fat jokes, any cat, any murder this, that, any abuse, ban, or I will not
This is what it was all night.
come back.
Okay,
Can you hide them?
we're not doing that. Like, legitimately, we're not, I'm sorry, but we're not doing
Someone says, Keem is definitely getting his money's worth today, but he doesn't need you. You're broke as poop and you need us.
that. We can't do that. Even Keem would come up here right now and tell you we can't
Keem does butt in every once in a while.
do that.
Keem needs me.
Okay,
Keem needs me. Does he though?
Needs me.
I'm gonna push back.
Hold up. He said today on some fucking little tiny channel, people who are a certain weight, they don't deserve to have opinions. Their opinions don't matter. Well, Keem, you have a full head of fucking hair, okay? So fuck you. And that's that.
Keem is something that will help you grow as a person. Like, you're gonna learn to get tough skin while you're here. Hopefully.
Keem was in my DMs more than any lover I've ever had. So he can explain his fat girl fetish to you. I mean, listen, Brantley is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. But I'm saying,
Sweet Tea can't help but laugh because you are not being authentic. We didn't come here for your story. We came here to remind you what you are. Tell us why you mistreat your loved ones and neglect your pets.
You got
He wants me.
No, I think he wants Amberlynn. Hypothetically, does Keem have? I mean, I know you're a lesbian, but like, does Keem have any
Listen,
shot?
people say gay for pay. Okay, I might be straight for pay. Oh, and your mama, listen.
Oh, wait.
I had a dream about your mama
I don't want to hear about your mama.
last night. We were in a
We are 10 minutes into the cut down. All right, and it just doesn't get any better. Let me see if I can catch the part or this. Is that the first time Keem pops in?
put a meow.
Well,
I'm not even joking.
At least the cat's alive and it's meowing.
And look,
He's gonna. Oh my god, I'm done. I got the fucking. Oh my god, I got the bonus and I'm peacing out.
Don't pull a boot.
hold on, we got a few TTSs still.
Okay.
It was on
Honestly,
death's door.
You knew what you were getting into. You watched the shows, especially with Sweet Tea. You can't gaslight some of us.
What?
Scooter, I think we found what you can do with all 3 bottles of baby oil if Amber is down.
Okay. All right, Keem, you're
my
good.
God.
Amberlynn, you're good.
Okay,
You guys
listen,
talk.
listen.
Don't let the noise get to you. Grow from it. Ignore that. Like,
Nah.
I'm sorry. Ignore them.
I don't know why she keeps cutting out all the parts where Keem pops in. Keem pops in basically to kind of talk Amber down every time Amber starts to get a little too upset. But again, it just feels so freaking scripted. And the first time with the meowing, Keem pops in and admits that he is the one that put the meowing noises in. Keem did that. Okay, just pointing that out to y'all. I wanted to show you guys the part where... There it is.
His name, and he's my everything. So I'm in this long distance relationship, right, with Tommy.
All right. Thank
That is the male host of the show that they end up redirecting to, I think. He came in and threw a washcloth at Scooter, and then Amber spent the time explaining what the washcloths were about. So that was the first time the other hosts trolled the show. And then Zay, I believe, is the name of the female host. Amber got interviewed on one of the other LoLCow shows before she went on this, before she started her show. And Zay had been on that show. I don't know if she was being interviewed or if she was co-hosting that show, or maybe it was even Zay's show. I don't know. But Zay had been on the show, and then Zay had to leave. And when Zay left left that recording, like, she was like, I gotta go, and she signed off for that episode. After she left, Amber was like, oh my god, I can't stand Zay. And one of the other, I think the host's name was Gidgy. Gidgy was like, oh my god, you're so brave, because I wouldn't be brave enough to say that about somebody. And it's just like, yeah, you're brave enough to say it about Zay when Zay's not there. So you'll say you don't like somebody behind their back. Real brave. But anyway, clearly it's gotten around to Zay that Amber doesn't like Zay. Apparently, this is just something that I've picked up. I don't know, but apparently Zay is the one that does the deep dives on people. So Zay is like their historian, their deep diver. And so I guess Zay has now done a deep dive on Amber and doesn't like Amber because, lo and behold, Zay has discovered the things about Amber that the rest of us don't like.
A liar?
Oh, okay. Verified with the 50. And that means.
Yeah, Scooter, you got the wrong one. Fuck this cat killing bitch. I ain't never switching up. Fuck you, bitch. Cat
Okay, no, don't do that. Like, come on, don't say that
What are
shit.
you gonna do about it? You killed cat and
She didn't fucking cat, dude. Chill.
dirty shitty woman.
Listen to her at
It looks
least.
like he's on fucking meth, bro. I don't give a
Okay, that.
So Scooter's going to go on and be like, oh, I didn't know they were going to do that, blah, 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 blah. Scooter apparently is on vacation, staying at their house because Scooter and Zay are friends. And he's going to get yelled at by Amber and Sweet Tea. Yelled at by Amber and Sweet Tea for being friends with Zay. It's all very performative. Very, very fake. Very, very fake. Fake news. And it's just one of those moments that doesn't feel real, and it's very much very WWE, where, you know, they're setting up the rivalry moment, you know, between the two teams before they go out into their box, until they go out into the wrestling ring and they have their moment, right? It's very much that. But then there's another moment. Does Zay come out again? I feel like there was a second time where Zay comes in. There's a moment where Amber has to go. Oh, through this entire show, Amber says someone keeps trying to call her from an unknown number. And so she has to dip for a quick minute to shut her phone off or to, that was a whole thing. Amber has to go and shut her phone off so that she can't receive calls or something. She says she doesn't know who it is who's calling her. Another moment that's just very sus. Something is happening because her phone keeps freezing as if someone is calling her or somebody's interfering with the show. So who that is, we don't know. This is a moment.
A big guy, but this is you. I think I nailed the face. I was trying to draw on your hair over your boobs like you always do.
Oh my god.
She just got her legs. I think this is the best bigger person I've ever been able to draw, honestly.
Yeah, you need to look up like Amber.
That was such a shady moment from Sweet Tea, which just further proves to me that Sweet Tea is a buddy troll. She says something also, I think Apathetic Facts cut it out, but she says something to the effect of, I ran out of green. I was going to color your shirt. I was going to make the whole thing green, but I ran out of green, so I had to switch colors, implying that Amber was so big that her marker ran out while she was coloring her. There was a moment where the internet for them kind of died, and Keem came on and implied that Zay and whoever the other person was had cut the internet. Again, implying that there's some kind of like rivalry going on there. For some reason, I thought Zay popped in again. I guess if she did, apparently it's not on here.
Like, we got to have a meeting after this. I don't know what the future's going to be like. And then I just realized I put 2 and 2 together. Guess where we're redirecting to? Yeah. Zay Zudit's show.
Amber, Keemstar is exploiting you and you know it. Don't let him. Don't come back. Protect your mental health, girl. Let Chatk do it for you. The eye is better anyway. Otherwise, people are just gonna be like cat.
Okay.
This
I'm
whole
exploiting
universe, this whole universe is based on exploiting LoLCows so they can make revenue. Boogie and Wings were in a situation where all the detractor channels made all the money. They didn't make any money. And I knew if I put them on a podcast that they would be able to get a piece of the pie of all the hate they're getting.
Zay's nasty. Nasty.
I'm just going to say this plainly, the acting was bad. This didn't feel real. It didn't feel natural. And honestly, the delivery gave it away immediately. When Zay comes in yelling and calling Amber a cat, it doesn't land like genuine chaos. It feels like a skit. And Keem's reactions don't help, because instead of de-escalating, he leans into it and even jokes about directing traffic to Zay's channel. Then, almost immediately after the stream, Keem posts in Discord explaining what really happened, saying Zay was fired for going IRL, talking about ultimatums, rule violations, and who threatened to quit if Amber wasn't fired. That's the part that seals it for me. When the story is conveniently clarified off-stream, in Discord, in a space everyone knows will get leaked, it's just too obvious.
So, Apathetic Facts has some screenshots here from, I'm guessing, the Discord. Keemstar has posted to the host that threatened me on DMs that they will quit unless I fire ALR. I'm not going to out ya name because this debate would force me to fire you, and I'm not trying to fire anyone. And then Scooter posts, Zay has been fired for going IRL. She can finish her show tonight, but she has broken community rules. Unlike her, I will let her finish her show. Keem had them redirect everybody over to Zay's show at the end of LoLCow Bus, and then went to the Discord where Keem posts this weird message at 9:12 p.m. about how there's a host that has threatened to quit in the DMs, and then at 9:57 p.m. Scooter gets on and says Zay has been fired but is allowed to finish her show. I don't even know what Zay's show is. But I'm sure if I go onto the LoLCow universe and I go figure out which show is Zay's, I'm sure I'll find something that'll be like, oh, Zay's been rehired because something, apologize, blah, 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 blah. You know, it's very much like that. But that's how they keep this shit rolling. So what is authentic and what isn't? Who knows? That's how this feels. Like I said, it's very WWE, which has a very successful formula. People watch soap operas for a reason. People continue to watch WWE for a reason. Not only does it have the soap opera aspect, it also has, you know, the physical drama, I guess is what we'll say, that goes along with it. That staged violence that goes along with it, right? I mean, who doesn't like watching it? It's fake as hell. You know, we all know it's fake. If you didn't know it was fake, I hate to break this to you, but the wrestling is fake. It's all staged. But that's kind of how this feels. Do I think there were moments throughout the show where Amber was losing her shit because she was being confronted by the audience in a way that she could control? Yes, I do. Have I always thought Amber was fake as fuck? Yeah, and I think this is just another one of those times where she's just been able to like stretch that theater kid muscle that she thinks she has. Supposedly, Amber was supposed to do a 2-hour show 5 days a week, I think. So every day, every work day, she was supposed to do a 2-hour show from 8 until, 10. Eastern Standard Time, my time. So has that worked out? I don't know, because I was here for the first show and then I was out of town until Tuesday. And then I had my floor torn up and now it's what, Thursday? What day is it? I don't know. I don't know what day it is. They just filled my whole they just filled my floor in today. Or yesterday night. Hopefully we'll be able to get on to this again. Do I have plans to watch every single one of these? No, I really don't. I really am leaning into the hope that Apathetic Facts is going to cut the majority of these down and I will be able to watch those. However, I do have people who are doing watch parties where we are getting together to watch these. It makes it a whole lot more tolerable. If y'all are interested in doing these, watching these together, I'm happy to do that with you guys, but just watching these by myself, these are intolerable. They're just intolerable. I was never a Jerry Springer fan. I was never a fan of that kind of stuff. It was just so fake, so intolerable. So like lowest common denominator for me. I just could not handle it. It wasn't even like fun to watch. Like WWE was at least fun to watch. Jerry Springer just never was even fun for me. I don't know why there was a difference there, but there was a quality, a difference in quality. I can't explain it to you. Like I said, I still have some research to do into the anthropology of those two genres of effective trash television to figure out how I'm going to handle this crap. But, you know, we're here now, and this is what we're going to be doing. So, all right, if you've made it this far in the video, bless. Just bless. If you can, put a chair. Sure, Jerry Springer used to throw chairs, and there were chairs involved in wrestling. So yeah, go ahead and put a chair. If you can find a folding chair, that would be even more amazing. Go ahead and put a chair down in the chat. Yep, comment section. There you go. I was going to say emoji section, and I was trying so hard not to say that. I forgot what it was actually called. Go ahead and put a chair down in the comment section. Did you watch wrestling? Were you a wrestling watcher? Did you watch Jerry Springer? There were other shows like Jerry Springer. I can't remember the names of them, but they existed. I just can't think of the names of any of them right now. Obviously, I didn't watch them. Jerry Springer did pass away. R.I.P. Jerry. You were the originator of an entire genre that Keemstar has to thank you for. If it wasn't for Jerry, we wouldn't have LoLCow University. LoLCow Universe. I guess university isn't the wrong word. But there you are. Are you watching this? Do you watch other aspects of LoLCow U? Like I said, there's like 8 different shows. I know there have been other shows on LoLCow U in the past. There you go. There's your questions. Go ahead. Again, chair is your emoji. Thank you to everybody who's been supporting the channel. Thank you to my subscribers. Thank you to my members. You guys rock. Thank you to everybody who's been supporting the channel. I guess we will try to do some more lives around LoLCow U, but I don't want that to be the only lives we do. Maybe it will be for a little while. I don't know. We need something to get our feet under us, yeah? And that's all I've got for you guys. So I will see everybody in the next one. Bye!
This is my outro music. You can't copyright strike me because it's just me singing. This is my outro music. Thank you for watching. See you next time.